Oh yeah, it says now recording in
Hare,
progress.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
we are learning Sloka 2.62 today, and this is the second last Sloka of chapter 2. We will do 2.12. We skipped that one because myself in our group we also learned that last. So I was thinking maybe we'll not do that, but it's an important sloka. So we'll do 2.12 next week, and today we'll do 2.62. We will try to, otherwise if we come and every Sunday do a bit of sloka and go home next Sunday, so there's no interaction. So we'll try to do a little bit of interactive session as well during the week. So feel free to contact me, anyone, you got any questions or clarifications, or you want to have a feedback session. Also, what we'll do is after the session expires today, we will do a little bit extra. So after the 40 minutes is expired, then it will cut out and I will rejoin. So if you have time, not compulsory, if you have rejoined, we can come back and then we'll do a bit of a feedback session. This is what we're doing for our Wednesday group, so that we have from that group, we have got some improvements, some feedback. So I'm hoping to get the same thing here. So let's, without delay, let's get into our current sloka. Most of you are very good now, very experts. We have a lot of you have already learned the sloka. So let's get through quickly, and we'll try to cover two stories from Srimad Bhagavatam. One is the Ajamil story, which I posted in the group, a video, short video, 5-minute video. So hopefully you had a chance to look at that, all of you. If you not, please go back, scroll, and I will forward that again in this group, so it comes to the bottom. Very important story from Srimad Bhagavatam. And we'll also try to do Narad Muni story very quickly, not a lot of time, but we'll do very quick so that we can continue in the next session as well. So let's do the current sloka. Bhagavad Gita 2.62. Dhayetu Sayanpun Sangaste Supajayate Sanjayate Kamat Krodho Vijayate. Little bit slowly. Dhayeto Visayan Punta Sangaste Supajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Krodho Vijayate. Kamat Krodho Vijayate. So the meaning we'll do word by word. Let's Dhyato Visayan Punsa. Dhyato is Dhyan. Very easy shloka to remember. Dhyan lagaunu. Dhyato Dhyan. Dhyato Visayan Punsa. Visaya is a subject. Any topic, any subject, we have a Visaya. The lust as well, sometimes it's mentioned as lust, but the lust can be anything. Lust for power, not only sensual or sexual lust, it's a lust for power, lust for attention, lust for respect, lust for looks. It can be anything. So, Dhayato Visayan Punsa, when we have our attention, when we give particular attention to any topic, any subject, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. Sangat is Sangat, like we're having a Sangat, Satsang. Sang is association, right? Sangat, Sanjayate, Sangastesu, sorry, I'm going a little bit forward. Sangat, Sangastesu Bajayate. What happens? Let me actually read the translation so that it makes sense to you. So rather than breaking down, while I'll just read the purport and then we'll go back. While contemplating on the object of the senses, when we contemplating, we're thinking about the objects of the senses. These are sense objects we're talking about. A person develops attachment. Okay, a person develops attachment. That's the Sangat Sanjayate. And the from such attachment, lust develops. Lust is very strong attachment to something. We have lusty desire, that's very common word. We can have lust for power, as I say, lust for position, lust for someone, lust for wealth, lust for fame. And then from that, anger develops. And so why does anger develop? Because if we can't find something which we are looking for, which what we desire, if the desire is not fulfilled, then anger arises. So there's 4 parts here. The 4 parts actually, Dhayato Visayan Punsa. When we contemplate on something, that's number 1. Sangastesu Pajayate. Sangat, we have association with that. Okay, so we want that. We have look at something, we want that. If we thinking about something, we want that. It's like in a shopping center when we go look at the shopping window, very nice cloth or some shoes, a computer, iPhone, whatever it is. We look at it first, we think about, now we want it. Sangat, we want to have sang with that, right? So far, so good. Two parts. We are contemplating, we're thinking, we're feeling, and then from that, the association. Okay, we want to have that. We want to enjoy that. The sangha develops. Now, sangat sanjayate kama. Now, from that association, a strong connection, lust develops. Kama is mentioned here. Kama can be anything. Like kama can be lusty desire, can be wealth, very strong, very powerful desire. And then when that is not fulfilled, what happens? Kamat krodha vijayate. So when that is not fulfilled, we get angry. Why do we get angry? At work, we want something, we want things to be done in a particular way, and the other person doesn't agree, then we get angry. Okay, at home, we want things to be done in a particular way. We tell them, tell our wife, tell our kids, they don't listen. We get angry. Why? Because the desire is not fulfilled. So this sloka is very important sloka. So let's do a line by line, and then after that we'll do in turns. Taito visayan punsa
ध्यायतो
विषयान् पुंसा
sangaste supajayate
सङ्गस्तेषु
जायते
sangat sanjayate kamaha
सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः
kamat krodho vijayate.
कामात् क्रोधो
विजायते.
Okay, so we'll go Puja Mataji.
Yes, त्यागो विज्ञान पुंसा जायते सांगत संज कामहा कमात
It's okay. Okay, Parvati Mataji, you can recite nicely yourself, and then we'll do a bit of practice at the end.
Hare Krishna. Dhayato visayan punsa sangastesu pajayate sangat anjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate.
Very nice, Tara Mataji.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसा संगत्स्तेषु पजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते.
Kanya Mataji, you want to recite?
हरे कृष्ण ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामात् क्रोधो विजायते.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Prabhuji.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसा संगस्तेषुपजायते संगात संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Gaurari Prabhuji.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसा संगस्तेषु पजायते संगात् संजायते कामत् क्रोधो विजायते.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Raja Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते सङ्घात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते.
Thank you. Very nice. Sanjita Mataji.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्ते सुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामात् क्रोधो विजायते.
Thank you. Sanchita, Sachita Mataji, Amala Mataji, Gayatri Mataji, Ashish Prabhu, Mansa Mataji, if you want to just turn the video on and recite, please.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसान् सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामात् क्रोधोऽपि जायते.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, Sachita Mataji.
I think I have some technical error.
It's okay, Mataji. You can just recite. We can hear you, so you can recite. Video is not compulsory. Yeah, we can hear you, Mataji. You can recite. Okay, that's okay. We can do next time. We'll do a bit of a recap next time because we want to cover a couple of stories today. So let's get into the stories. So the story I said is Mansa Mataji, do you want to, you joined just now. You want to quickly?
Yeah. Hare Krishna. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसा सङ्गस्तेषु पचायते सङ्गात् जायते कामात् क्रोधो विजायते.
Very nice. Thank you. Ashish Prabhu.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषु उपजायते सङ्गसञ्जायते कामात् क्रोधो विजायते.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So today we want to do a couple of things. One is this story of Ajamil, which is very closely related to this sloka. So those of you who watched the video, please, if not, go back and watch that video. Very, very important. Only 5 minutes. Takes only 5 minutes. Very nicely done. Cartoon video. Very nicely done. It conveys the message very nicely. So there was a Brahmin. It's a story from Srimad Bhagavatam. There was a Brahmin called Ajamil. He was raised in a Brahmin family very nicely. Everything was going good. He was married. Nice home, nice family, nice father, mother. Everything all good. One day his father was doing some yajna at home and he sent Ajamil to collect some firewood and some flowers from the forest. He went there and going through he saw something which is not pleasant. What he saw was he'd never seen it before, that some prostitute was entertaining a Sudra. She was a Sudra or some low class person. And there was some cuddling and kissing and that sort of thing. That's just he saw. So what happened was from there, he just contemplated. This is the key word, contemplated. So Dhyayato Visayan Punsa. Then he started thinking about it. He could have just gone away and he could have ignored it. But he paused and he looked again and again. And so that stayed in his mind. And then he obviously collected some firewood and some flour, but that thought kept on staying on his mind, kept on staying. He came home, gave the things to his father, and there was no mind was still thinking about that. Next day he was thinking, third day he was thinking, and then he actually decided to bring that prostitute at home because he wanted to have that association. And he brought her in a pretext, pretending that she was a maid, like a maid servant. And then he wanted association. So what happened was then he wanted to get married. And then after that, the relationship got stronger. Then his household got ruined. He kicked his wife, and and then parents out from home. And then he had 10 children with her. And then there's a long story, but I'll cut it very, very short because I just want to relate that certain part to this current sloka. So he had 10 children, and some sadhus had come, and his wife was still. She couldn't sort of that prostitute wife. She couldn't sort of ask for much from the sadhus because she was not that literate, so she didn't know what to ask. So she asked, "What should I name my child?" And they said, "Just name him Narayan." So the last child was named Narayan. She was pregnant at that time. And then time of death, obviously the Yamadutas came, wanted to take him away. And he was very, very scared. Yamadutas were ghastly. They were, they came with the ropes, and they will take you to hell because he was doing all this nonsense. So Yamadutas came. He was scared. He pronounced Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. He was just calling his son's name. Last one is the dearest one. And then because Narayana was promised and pronounced, the Vishnu Dutas also came. So there's a nice dialogue between Vishnu Duta, the Yamaduta, whether we should take him to Vaikuntha Lok or to Yamalok. So there's nice discussion. Eventually, the Yamadutas, they had to leave. They lost the argument. They left, and then the Dutas, Vishnu Dutas, they gave Ajamil one more chance. So they stopped him going to Yamaloka, and they stopped him. So he got a second chance, and then realized it was like a dream. Oh my God, these Vishnu Dutas saved me. So he started chanting, and started associating with devotees, and then he got a second chance. And then later on, when he died the second time, the Vishnu Dutas came again, put him on a plane, nicely took him to the Vaikuntha Loka. So that's the story. What happened, all that story, what is the key word here? Because just what he saw. One thing, we can see a lot of things. On the train we are going, we see lots of these scenes, people kissing, cuddling. On the cinema, not to mention, there's so much going on, all the violence, and all the scenes. Anywhere, we cannot avoid it. But what we can do is, the contemplation has to be stopped. I can't even pronounce that word very. Contemplating should not be there. Okay, so we should not be fixed on that. We should, if we see something, that's the end of it. That should be the end of it. So this is what Sloka says. And this Sloka goes actually further. So 4 parts. We see something, the mind goes into that something, we keep thinking, and that creates that association. So if he didn't think, if he just, oh yeah, this is nonsense going on in the jungle, what is this? If he moved on, then the association or the desire wouldn't have been there. Because he was looking at it, he was thinking about it, the desire came, and desire was not fulfilled. He wanted to have that association. And then maybe he got angry with his wife because she wouldn't allow him to do what he was trying to do. So anger. And then actually, if you are interested, there's another sloka immediately after that, 2.63, very interesting sloka. Those 4 parts we understand, we learned. There's other 4. From anger, complete delusion arises. So it's a sloka I haven't learned completely, but I will try to recite with a broken voice. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Okay, so, from krodh, illusion, sammoha is illusion happens. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammohat smriti vibhrama. Smriti, illusion happens. And then smriti bharsad buddhi naso. What happens after bewilderment? After we get bewildered, we lose our memory. And then buddhi naso. Buddhi is also gone. Buddhi vrashta, we say. Buddhi nasat pranayasati. What happens after buddhi is nas? Buddhi is gone. Downfall happens. Pranayasati. Sarvanas. So if you have time, please read these 2 slokas together. Even if you cannot remember, it makes it's very scientific actually. The 8 parts of logically describe how we see something, how we get attached. And then we get desire comes, we get attached to that. If we can't get that, anger happens. If from anger, we lose sense of what is right, what is wrong, and then the memory is also lost. We lose memory. That means we get angry at someone. Like And so, for example, we get angry at children or women, or wife or husband or whoever, then we lose all the memory of a good memory. You know, how helpful they were, how long we've been with them, how nice the kids are, how nicely the wife is serving. We forget all of that. That's buddhinasa, right? So that's what this sloka is very nice. From buddhinasa, it can happen. Like if the battle continues and disagreement continues, that can end up in divorce or something. But that's praneshati, that's finished, everything. So that's one. The other one is Narad Muni story. We'll probably not finish Narad Muni story, but I'll try. Before that, we'll appreciate why we're doing these slokas. We have to have a little bit of appreciation of these slokas. What we're doing is amazing. Who wrote these slokas? Did 5,000 years ago, more than 5,000 years ago. If we believe the Western philosophy, they tell you about 300 years ago, 400 years ago, we were all like in jungles. We're living in jungles like a caveman, and we had not much to eat, not much to wear. But 5,000 years ago, who wrote this? Not only this, I'll tell you, not only this sloka, not these two slokas, how logical it is, how meaningful it is. There's 700 slokas in Bhagavad Gita, 20,000 in Vedas, Puranas 400,000. 400,000 in Puranas, 18,000 in Srimad Bhagavatam, 100,000 in Mahabharata, 24,000 in Ramayana. Each sloka has got deep meaning, like this, deep meaning, not anybody wrote. And then all of them, about how many? 150,000 slokas, all consistent and accurate prediction as well. Very accurate prediction. Who wrote? Who can write such shastras? I used to think that way, that some guru or someone wrote along the way and it became shastras. Now they're too old. Not like that. When we study, we can appreciate unbelievable. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, we'll come across those slokas. Bhagavan uvacha. Bhagavan. Only Bhagavan can write these things. No one else can write such things. And I, not only writing, very much predicted. We are learning Srimad Bhagavatam slokas. One sloka we are learning. I'll give you just a little hint of it. Very beautiful sloka we learned. Prayana. Let me open that up. I'm still learning, so I'll probably struggle. 1.1.10. Just this week only. I'll just see the first word and it will come. Prayanalpa yusa sabya kalavasvin yuge janaha mandaha sumanda matayo mandabhagya hupadurta. And I'll just read the translation. O learned one, in this age, iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives, very short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. How did they predict this? We're short-lived, not living, meant to be even 100 years. Not many people are living 100 years, short lives. And then quarrelsome, always fighting. You see around, quarrelsome, we're becoming more and more lazy, misguided. We want to do we want to study some shastras, we want to study some scriptures, we want to listen to some gurus, and then we get misguided. Some Babaji comes and they will take you completely in a different way, completely ignoring the shastras. They want to give you their same own knowledge. The misguiding happening, unlucky. And we're not lucky because we're not getting the best. Not everybody. We are lucky because we are starting to read, we're starting to learn, but not many people are that lucky. And always disturbed. You can see how people are disturbed. Little thing, little tiny thing, they get disturbed. So who predicted this 5,000? Cavemen, people, maybe monkeys. We are some, even if they will say, if you go a little bit further back, we came from monkeys or apes. Did monkeys write these things? 150,000 slokas in all those shastras, perfectly aligned. Everything is consistent and everything has deep meaning. Who could write? So we are so lucky. to study these scriptures. So that's amazing. This is what struck me when I started learning slokas and shastras. Amazing! I could not believe how meaningful they are. Who wrote this? I always wonder. So we'll touch on the Narada Muni story, but then if we cannot finish, then we'll continue. So that'll give you a bit of incentive for you to join. But we can join again. We can finish actually. I said we can join again if it cuts out. Let's join back again so we can have a bit of a discussion. Very important. Very important. So don't join immediately. Let me join in 1 minute after it cuts out, and then you can join, please. And you have to disconnect first. Disconnect, close, and then reopen. Okay. All right. Let's do Narada Muni story. Who was Narada Muni? Let's go a couple of lives back. Narada Muni was Brahma's son, his own son. And when Brahma started creating, he had the responsibility to create this world or the universe, universal jivas, atmas. The creation is primary and secondary. Primary creation was done by the Vishnu Tattva, Krishna and Vishnu Tattvas. The secondary creation was given to Brahmaji. Okay, you create universe and jivas and whatever is required for them to sustain in this universe, you create. So there's one Brahma in each universe, and there are millions of Brahmas. There's millions of universes. So Brahma had sons, many sons, 4 Kumaras. They refused to produce children or get married. So he asked Narada Muni, you get married, and then we have to have some children, and then have to populate this world. He refused. He was playing. He was always having this Veena. Saraswati Mata had given it Veena and playing and music and just having fun all the time. He was not interested in marrying, and he was obviously not interested in producing children. So Brahmaji actually cursed him. So you become because you always love music. So you become a Gandharva, like a Gaine in Nepali. They call Gaine Gandharva, playing musician. So he became a Gandharva. Upabarahana was his name. So he was very nicely doing. And then what happened was one day, because he was as Gandharva, he was doing very nicely. He was handsome. So he developed a little bit of pride, and then he was attracted in one of the Apsaras, Ramba. And there was a big music festival going, and everything was nice beat, musical instruments playing. He was playing, and then he just one glance at Ramba, and then he missed the beat. And then the whole show, like everybody was, what happened? Like what happens when you're playing Mridanga? If you miss the beat, then everybody looks at what happened. And then Brahmaji cursed him again. So he said, okay, so you've because of your lust, you attracted to this Ramba, you will become low class. You will take birth in a very low class family. And he took birth as a Dasi, became a Dasi Putra. Dasi Putra, and then he was, now there was not much to do. His mother was a Dasi, and she was just making just ends meet. One day, the rishis came, during Chaturmasa, the rishis came and they stayed in her house. And so he got the association nicely. They were chanting, they were doing prayers, they were talking about scriptures. So he got to hear, he got to serve them, whatever remnants of prasad they were taking, he got to take. And then hearing and chanting, they gave him some mantras. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He was chanting, listening, hearing, serving. And because of that, then he got, then his mother actually died. Bit of snake bite, actually, I think. Snake bite. She died when he was about 5 years old. But he didn't get disappointed because he had already seen a bit of association. He was in the satsang, so he kept walking. He went in search of some knowledge, but he actually Lord Vishnu came and he gave him just a glance of it, just a little bit of visual. And then he, after that vision, he wanted to have more of that. So he did sadhana, intense sadhana, and he became, in the next life, he became Narada Muni. How did he become Narada Muni? 5 things. A, B, C, D, E. A is association, like us. we're doing. It's a great association. We have to have association of devotees. Otherwise, if we're doing on our own, we cannot, number one, we cannot understand the Shastras. It's hard to understand. Number two, we'll get distracted. There's lots of examples of very exalted, very high level sadhus, gurus. They fall down because of lack of association. There's no one to tell them because they're on their own, their mind and themselves. So they can easily fall down. They can fall prey to the Maya. They can fall prey to their mind. So that happens. B is books. Book is hearing is also a book. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Reading, hearing, telling others, that comes all under books. Chanting, jap, jap, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If you've seen the movie Narsimha, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, how Prahlad Maharaj, chants nicely. And so that's mantra japa. We do meditation, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare. We chant on the japa mala. That gives us peace of mind, and that gives us power, and that purifies us. Diet, prasad. So he was talking, Narad Muni was taking prasad, which was offered to the Lord, and then the rishis were taking. So double benefit. One was something is offered to Lord. So we'll touch when we join next time. We'll discuss very quickly how to make prasad out of any food. Okay.